네, 안녕하세요. 승승장구 이프로입니다. 오늘은 XRP 코인의 모체인 이 리플과 이제 SEC 간 긴 법적 싸움이 마침표를 찍은 이후에 암호화폐 산업이 맞이하고 있는 새로운 국면에 대해서 말씀을 좀 드리고자 합니다. 이에 대해서 이제 SEC와의 소송 종결 이후에 브래드 갈링하우스 리플 CEO의 첫 공식석상 인터뷰를 제가 가지고 와 봤는데요. 이 법적 리스크 완전 해소라는 이슈 이후 첫 인터뷰인 만큼 끝까지 보시면 좋으실 것 같습니다. 그럼 바로 이 영상 시청해 보시죠.
I'm excited for the conversation. Great to be here with Brad, and we have a breaking topic. It's on Twitter, but Brad can probably save you the time and give you a summary. There's an update to the appeal.
It's always good to make news while here at Digital Assets Summit. Just a few minutes ago, right before we walked up here, I posted on X that we can now announce that the SEC is no longer pursuing their appeal in the Ripple case. We're obviously, yeah, thank you.
Should we get a standing ovation? On your feet. This is a great
The
moment.
whole industry, this is a good thing.
Come on, come on. Okay.
So it's been almost 4 years and about 3 months since the SEC originally sued us. Certainly a painful journey in lots of ways, but as we said then, I mean, two things I'll highlight from what we said then. I really deeply believed that we were going to be on the right side of the law and on the right side of history. It's something we said then, and it's something that I feel, kind of vindicated looking at this now. I mean, the other thing I would say, which there's a video I posted on X a short while ago, and one of the things I point out is the system just feels broken that we had to fight this fight for the industry. And you had an SEC attacking the industry, and particularly in the Ripple case, there were no victims. There was no investor loss. This was not, something where the SEC was like, oh, something bad happened. It was just, they were trying to bully. They were just not acting in good faith. And luckily, you did have courts rebuke them. But look, I also, this is a moment to celebrate. I think we as an industry on the other side of it, that's good for everybody involved. It's good for Blockworks, that's good for Bitwise, that's good for Ripple. And so I'm really happy about it.
Well, congratulations. I think you said it well. It feels like a victory for the industry and the beginning of a new chapter. Does it feel like a new chapter to you?
Oh my God. Well, I really do think the new chapter started with the reset at both at Congress and the executive branch, right? When Trump came in and nominated Paul Atkins, nominated Scott Bessent, brought on David Sachs. I mean, these are incredibly smart people who I think are taking pragmatic, smart looks at, we want this industry to thrive in the United States. I mean, I think you aren't as old as I am, but I've been around.
Same age.
But I mean, it's been such an interesting thing to watch how the internet's thriving in the United States has been a geopolitical benefit to the United States. And yet here's this industry that the United States SEC was fighting offshore, which is exactly the opposite of what we should have wanted to do on any level. And look, I hope that even those that have been anti-crypto have realized there's no reason to be anti-crypto. And you saw that impact a lot of elections. I tweeted out about a year ago that I thought Elizabeth Warren was going to lead the Democrats off a cliff. And I think that ended up being pretty prescient about, look, this Congress is definitely, on both sides of the aisle, is pro-innovation and pro-crypto. And so I think we will see a lot of activity, as even the last panel was talking about.
Yep, absolutely. So I want to ask you in that vein, you have been at Ripple now for 10 years?
Getting old. You and I joked backstage on Twitter. People like to put up photos comparing Brad at the beginning of Ripple, Brad current. Yeah, there's more gray hair.
Right, a bit more
I
gray
want
hair.
to tell those people, like, look, you have the government sue you and see what happens.
Right. A bit more gray hair, 10 years. So the question I want to ask you is, have things in the space gone faster or slower than you expected?
I mean, I would say yes. There's things that, you know, had you told me, I had the pleasure of being with at the crypto summit last couple weeks ago also. And again, the stark contrast of Ripple couldn't get a meeting with anybody at the White House over the last 4 years. And now we're invited in. And so in some ways it's gone fast because I would not have predicted 10 years ago we'd be having crypto summits at the White House. I would not have predicted that we'd be over, I mean, I don't know what market cap of everything, you know, 3.x trillion. You know, those are things that I would not have predicted. I mean, 10 years ago, the average daily volume in XRP trading was about $60,000. You know, today, I don't know, 6 billion?
Higher.
So, you know, those are things that it's gone faster. What hasn't gone faster, which I think the industry, and you're seeing people talk about up here, we have to find utility and not just the trading speculation. And you are seeing, you know, green shoots, to borrow an Obamaism, but I think that is now, particularly that the attacks from the SEC, the attacks from, you know, the OCC, et cetera, are now behind us. In the United States, I think it's the time to build. It's the time to focus. And there's a number of amazing projects that we see. You know, some of those have nothing to do with Ripple. Some have nothing to do with XRP. But we're believers. I mean, also something we haven't shared publicly before. We've now invested over $2 billion. Ripple has invested over $2 billion in investments and acquisitions across the crypto landscape.
Wow.
And some of those have nothing to do with XRP. Because if crypto does well, I fundamentally believe Ripple will do well.
Well, that brings me to, let's get back to building, but I wanted to read Brad a tweet and get how you think about it.
This is like a part of the SNL skit.
This is, this is, sometimes happens on late night. This is not late night, but this is our redux of it. The tweet that you posted was, the crypto industry will achieve our goals if we work together. Then I looked at one of the replies. You are a poo coiner, and we don't want any of your poo coin.
Does it say poo or does it say shit?
This is an emoji.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you just shared your perspective about the industry doing well. What do you think when you see that type of that view or that type of remark in the space?
I mean, look, first of all, that one's gentle. That one's mild. I've read much worse. You know, what I think when I see that is like, that's working against the industry. Like, we want to bring more people into the industry. We want to show the world that we can solve institutional grade problems. Posting you're a shit and you're a shit coin or whatever, it's just like, okay. I mean, I've been in this 10 years. It doesn't even bother me at this point.
Yeah.
I do wish the industry, and I've been saying this for at least 5 years, tribalism, I feel like, is the enemy of progress. It's okay to be tribal and wanting your project to do well. I get it. But this is not a zero-sum game. And when people act in a way that they think somebody else has to lose for me to win, I think, I just don't get that. This is such a nascent industry. And like, when I look at it and I see on one hand, wow, oh my gosh, I said earlier, it's gone fast because we're at a $3 trillion market. How do we get to 30 trillion? And I don't think that's helping.
Yeah.
I'll give you one quick funny thing. I saw on X or Twitter yesterday, people typing in, you know, who is, I tested out this feature. You type in, who spreads more disinformation about XRP than anyone else?
This is Grok, you asked.
This is Grok. I asked Grok, correct. Who spreads more disinformation about XRP, comma, one name only?
You got my name?
Did I get your name? I did get a name, a well-known Bitcoiner that I'll leave. You guys can test that out yourself. But look, I fundamentally, I just try to tune some of that out. I will continue to try to be constructive with all these projects. And I think for Ripple has a lot of partners. There's a lot of companies we've invested in. And we will continue to try to see the whole industry succeed. And when I go to Washington, I am very much about how do we think about the whole industry's success and not, the biggest problem has been the governments who try to pick winners and losers. And the irony thereof, many crypto people are liberal, have a libertarian view of the world, and yet they're libertarian, but they want the government to somehow.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, right.
I'm going to keep advocating what I've said for 5 years, that tribalism is the enemy of progress here, and I will support a whole lot of people in this room.
네, 여러분. 앞선 인터뷰 영상 잘 보셨을까요? 그럼 오늘의 영상 요약 정리를 좀 도와드릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 뭐 다 잘 아시는 내용이시겠지만 리플과 미국 증권거래위원회 오랜 법정 공방이 마침내 끝났습니다. SEC는 항소를 포기를 했고 이는 사실상 리플의 완전한 승리를 의미를 하죠. 리플의 CEO 브래드 갈링하우스는 이 소식을 무대에 오르기 직전 SNS, 트위터를 통해 전하며 이 사건은 리플만의 승리가 아닌 암호화폐 업계 전체의 승리라고 강조를 했습니다. 이 법적 싸움은 무려 4년 3개월 동안 지속이 되었었습니다. 그는 이 사건엔 명백한 피해자도 없었고 투자자 손실도 발생하지 않았다는 점을 분명히 이야기를 했고요. 비단 이 소송 이후 리플의 분위기만 변환이 된 건 아닙니다. 업계 전반에 대해 미국 정부의 태도가 변화가 되었는데요. 과거에는 크립토 기업이 백악관과 미팅을 취재하는 것조차 어려웠었지만 지금은 오히려 리플 같은 경우에는 초대를 받고 있는 상황입니다. 뿐만 아니라 정치권 내부에서도 암호화폐 관련 법안과 정책 논의가 보다 적극적으로 이루어진다라고 하고 있고요. 이는 암호화폐 산업의 매우 고무적인 변화라고 볼 수가 있습니다. 이러한 변화는 정치적 배경과도 깊은 관련이 있는데요. 예를 들어 트럼프 캠프는 최근 폴 애트킨스, 데이비드 sak스, 그리고 스캇 베센트 등 암호화폐 친화적인 인사들을 적극 영입을 했죠. 이는 트럼프의 정당인 공화당이 암호화폐를 전략적 자산으로 인식하고 있다라는 신호이기도 합니다. 브래드는 과거 인터넷이 미국의 글로벌 경쟁력에 어떤 기여를 했는지를 상기를 시키면서 암호화폐도 마찬가지로 미국의 지정학적 이점을 강화할 수 있는 기술이라고 강조를 했습니다. 그러면서 엘리자베스 워런 상원 의원을 비롯한 일부 반크립토 정치인들의 태도는 오히려 그들의 선거에 부정적인 영향을 미쳤다고 평가를 했죠. 그리고 시장에 대해서도 언급을 했는데요. 암호화폐 시장은 그야말로 폭발적인 성장을 이어가고 있다라고 얘기를 했습니다. XRP 코인만 봐도 10년 전에는 거래량이 하루 6만 달러 수준이었는데 현재 같은 경우에는 60억 달러 수준에 이르렀고요. 전체 암호화폐 시장 규모도 3조 달러를 돌파를 하면서 새로운 패러다임을 만들고 있다라고 언급을 했습니다. 그리고 또 리플의 이와 관련해서 앞으로의 투자 방향도 얘기를 했는데요. 리플 같은 경우에는 지금까지 20억 달러 이상을 투자를 하고 다양한 기업을 인수해 왔습니다. 그중 많은 프로젝트들이 XRP와는 무관하지만은 리플의 철학은 명확하죠. 산업 자체가 잘 되면 리플도 잘 된다라는 것입니다. 반면 이제 암호화폐 산업에는 아직도 많은 도전 과제를 안고 있다고 브래드는 말했는데요. 그중 하나가 바로 이제 트라이벌리즘, 즉 부문 간의 극단적인 진영 싸움이죠. 브래드는 똥코인러 같은 조롱이 업계 전반에 자해적이고 진보를 가로막는 행위라고 지적을 했습니다. 경쟁보다는 협업이 중요하며 암호화폐는 제로섬 게임이 아니라는 사실을 우리는 잊지 말아야 한다고 했으며 정부의 역할에 대한 모순도 지적을 했는데요. 정부는 산업에서 승자와 패자를 정하는 심판이 되어선 안 된다라고 얘기를 했습니다. 오히려 공정한 규칙과 성장 기반을 만드는 조력자가 되어야 된다라고 이야기를 하며 산업 전체가 성장할 수 있는 환경 조성에 집중을 해야 한다라고 했습니다. 자, 여기까지가 오늘 제가 준비한 브래드 갈링하우스의 SEC와의 소송 이후의 인터뷰 영상이었는데요. 영상 보시고 나서 여러분들의 의견 궁금합니다. 댓글로 자유롭게 달아주시면 감사하겠고요. 그리고 영상 내용이 내용이다 보니까 제가 만드는데 정말 오랜 시간이 걸렸는데요. 고생했다고 구독과 좋아요, 알람 설정 한 번씩 눌러주시고요. 다른 건 몰라도 좋아요는 꼭 한번 눌러주세요. 여러분들의 좋아요가 제가 영상을 만드는데 큰 힘이 됩니다. 그럼 저는 다음 더 좋은 내용으로 찾아뵐 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.